Na 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 na. There once was a ship that put to sea. The name of the ship was the Belly of Tea. The winds blew up her bow, dip down, oh blow, my bully boys blow. Whoa! Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. She'd not been 2 weeks from shore when down on her right whale bore. The captain called all hands and swore he'd take that whale in tow. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the boat had hit the water, the whale's tail came up and caught her. All hands to the side, harpoon and fodder when she dived down low. Soon may the wellerman come to bring us sugar and tea and rum. One day when the tonguing is done, we'll take our leave and go.
We have one of our main antagonists, David, aka Cuddle Skunk, Cigar Camel. Be careful, he spits. His main goal of this trip appears to be vindicating the equipment he packed.
So one of these really cool devices my brother brought with on this trip. Get a little blow going like that.
Unfortunately, he has no skills.
The grubs are slimy, yet satisfying.
We have Andy, aka Grabby Grouse. While David talks a lot about glamping, Andy makes it a reality. I'm thinking about nominating him for a James Beard Award. Unfortunately, he also has no skills. We have Randy, aka Grumblebee. For this trip, he sacrificed going to the Mankato citywide garage sale. If that's not love, I don't know what is. He doesn't shiver, only growls in the face of cold. When he gets cold, he drinks antifreeze, also known as blackberry brandy. He luckily does have some skills, which include making bear and cougar noises while asleep. We have Steph, aka Cheepy Chipmunk, our mother moose. Affording powdered lemon juice is not in her budget. She'd prefer Andy carry the liquid version instead. Also known to be stingy with patience and acknowledging Amy's puns. Unclear why, but she has a fondness for swan nests. Skills, pushing electrolytes. We also have Nate, aka Racy Raccoon. Loves to partially listen to a conversation and then pipe up. A single portage carrying both his pack and canoe is not challenging enough for him. He also returns to double portage someone else's pack. I'm beginning to worry I was only invited to ensure he came. Skills, supporting bad ideas. We also have Amy, aka Raunchy Robin, or Pushy Panda. The most important lesson I've learned on this trip is don't put hand warmers in your socks. Unsure if the burns are chemical or heat. My skills include refilling wine glasses.
Cut, the whale was free, the captain's mind was not of greed, and he belonged to the whaleman's creed. She took that ship in tow.
Here we have our lovely campsite. We have what we call Fortland, which includes Robin's Nest, Racy's Treehouse, and Cheepy's Burrow. In our 100-rod woods, there's also the Netherland, the latrine. We have Grabby's Grotto, Cuddle Skunk's Cove, because they are in Fort Haven. So there's warring packs. They each had their own place to live, though. We had Canada, where all of our cans went, our tarp. We had our nice little campfire with the world's most annoying rock, located smack dab in the middle, where all the chairs would like to be. Poland is where we had all our poles holding up the tarp. Grumblebee's hive is over here, but we also referred to it as the
For
loony
40
bin.
days or even more, the line went slack then tight once more. All boats were lost, there were only 4, but still that whale did go. Soon may the
So we can begin our survival vlog. Day 1. Steaks still frozen. We may starve. Backup plan. Cook one of the other 10 meals that were packed. We had maple bourbon pork rice tortillas.
Oh, that does smell awesome. All of everything that you're putting in there.
How was your job doing?
Well, mostly because I'm not in college. That's when you start making a paycheck when you didn't make a. Well, that's not true. I made a paycheck in grad school, but.
Ooh,
Verdict,
delicious.
pure
Turned
heaven.
out perfect.
Balanced, salty, sweet, meaty goodness. 10 out of 10. Day 2.
So the water setup I've been using for the last 3 years is I buy these catering watering bags. This is about a 2-gallon, maybe 2.5-gallon catering watering bag. And I fill that up. We hang it from a basketball net that the bottom end of the net has been tied together with a zip tie. And then the top end is hung, brings all the edges together, hung by carabiner, tied to a tree. And then I bought a inline filter that had a really good water attachment piece that I screwed into the cap of the water container, and the hose goes down to inline water filter. This is the Sawyer Mini. This is not the filter that came with the hose and the cap, but it's the same concept, same type of filter, and so I bought that as a replacement for this year. And then that filters into a clean bag that we tie a little piece of rope to help us know that that's our clean water, so we can just dump that into our bottles, or we can just filter straight into our water bottles.
Granola berry pouch. Andy had store-bought, Amy and Nate had homemade. Homemade was much better, creamier. Discovered store-bought, vegan. Led to disappointment. 12:30. Andy decides he's going to have an early lunch. Discovers he's already late. At breakfast, Stephanie had mentioned we should eat an early dinner. It's 6:30 p.m. and no cooking has started. I'm beginning to think Steph and Andy don't understand what early means. Either that or they both enjoy being late. Early afternoon, I sent a crew out fishing. They returned with 0 fish. For the second night in a row, fears of starvation flood the camp. Backup plan. Eat the steaks which have thawed. Steak and baked potatoes. Verdict? Another perfect meal. Steph chose Yukon Gold potatoes, which was brilliant. Creamy, buttery, delicious. The long-awaited steaks do not disappoint. Glorious.
Very well marbled.
David's even came with meat gum. 1 leftover steak. 10 out of 10. Day 3.
That was way easier than I thought it would be.
Temperatures last night reached a new low. Starvation is no longer the biggest concern amongst the campers.
I can survive the cold.
Barely.
It was quite cold last night. I'm afraid tonight will be the same.
Plan is to eat the last remaining steak for breakfast. Concerns it may have refrozen.
will hurt and you will feel it and it will be painful.
Boiled eggs, caramelized pork belly, steak, tortillas. Delicious.
That is good.
Tonight, the campers decided that flavor no longer matters. Temperature is king. Unanimous vote for soup.
What are you making?
Cabbage, pork belly soup.
Yes, they're free.
Pork bellies fried. I'm going to deglaze with a little red wine. All right, we deglazed the pork belly pan with the red wine. Now we're going to take the dry ingredients. Fill that up with water. I like to fortify the fat in the soup with a little bit of olive oil.
Pork belly vegetable soup with gnocchi. Verdict, soup definitely the right choice. Warmed our bodies and improved camp morale.
How much of this am I supposed to
Oh, about a spoonful, but however many you think you like. So what we did is we fried the gnocchi in ghee. I did add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil also to the soup. All right, initial reaction.
Good. No. That's actually really good. Very salty. I like the pork belly in it. The cabbage rehydrated really well. The mushrooms are adding a good umami. Carrots add a good crunch. Really good.
Grumblebee has renewed hope that he will survive the night. While the cabbage may make us gassy, we're hoping that it will help keep our sleeping bags warm tonight. Mother Moose was very happy we were finally eating vegetables. She was also content with the electrolyte content of the soup. Besides coffee, may have been the first liquid Racy has consumed all trip. Overall, a win, 10 out of 10. Day 4.
All right, we are playing Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza.
Goat.
Pick it up, David. Taco Cat.
He primed me with the goat. Taco. Oh, yeah. Fine, back here.
You almost got all the cards, you almost won.
Yes.
The Randy rule.
Taco.
Cat.
Oh.
David, pick it up.
I know.
He's mentally prepared.
Taco. Bench.
He's come on with a new strategy.
We said he could flip it this way. Not in slow motion.
Okay, we weren't very clear on it.
Taco!
Pizza. Oh, I think you got that.
That's the game.
For breakfast, we had hail. Not as filling as I had hoped. No one else seemed concerned. Not sure if they have accepted their fate or it's actually no big deal. After breakfast, we got to meet a celebrity. Highlight of the trip. 2 game wardens stopped by. Everyone threw themselves at them. Slightly embarrassing. After they left, we realized we missed a great opportunity to ask about the weather forecast. We deserve any suffering we endure. The sun finally came out. It feels weird not to shiver. Day 4. Continued. Now that the fear of hypothermia has faded, we sent 2 crews out on a fishing expedition. Dinner tonight, chicken curry with rice.
Trader Joe's yellow curry, dehydrated and added coconut powder to that. We reconstituted over a fire with water, and now we're just finishing it off. I added foil packet chicken, and now we're putting in just a little bit of sriracha on top of that.
Verdict? You can imagine how the fishing trip went. Luckily, dinner was phenomenal anyway. The flavor was rich and perfectly spiced. 10 out of 10.
Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that curry is very sweet. That sriracha in there, you don't even notice a lot of heat in there. It's just kind of a nice glow in the back of the palate. The chicken gives you that nice protein boost you need after a long day of fishing.
After dinner, we sat and watched fish jump on the lake. They were definitely mocking us.
Oh, I got that one. Yeah, the night before we leave, all the fish are jumping out, feasting.
You wouldn't even need our fishing poles, just go get the net.
Yeah.
Right? There's fish everywhere, fish for days. And not a fish to catch.
Some quotes from the trip that were notable. David and Andy put the die in diet. Some people are killer storytellers. Nate is the killer of stories. David brought battery-powered fire. David, do it in front of us. We want to watch. It's like they don't even respect the drip bucket. For the record, I was not worried about you. That came from Nate. Pepper is the best sneezing. Next time I'm bringing thongs. You mean tongs? That was good old Randy. I'll give you David's number. He's got a good lingerie company. Grabby Grouse takes what he wants. Raunchy Robin strikes again. David won't spit, you stupid camel.
Because it's what, lawful, chaotic? What?
I like my scotch shaken, not stirred. I'd already seen that part of the book. You live, you learn. Well, if you live, you learn. Randy chuckled. That's all the validation I need in life. David, slow down, otherwise you're gonna jelly your pants. Sleeping 2 nights ago was unbearable. My backup plan was to sleep with Randy. You turned the weirdest shade of gray. Every single day at 8:45 p.m., the beaver heads back home. What does he do all day? Things are weighed in ounces, not pounds. Andy was right. There are 2 beavers. We're going to experiment on him like a twin. I saw a couple bugs, but they weren't biting, much like the fish. First sighting of the elusive hummingbird, definitely not a bee or dragonfly. I let some heat escape, biggest mistake of my life. And this is an illustration of what our campsite looked like. Of utter importance is the most annoying rock. That's right where it lived. And those are fish jumping, taunting us because we didn't catch any fish.
Thank you for joining us on this BWCA adventure. If you enjoyed this content and would like me to share more adventures like this, please pause now and like and leave a comment on this video. Also remember to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss the next adventure with us. I would like to share a special thank you with the crew of this BWCA adventure. You mean the world to me. And also to Aaron Michael Weil Ministries and Malachi Clark from Fiverr.com for recording the music tracks. Until next time, I'm Andy, and this is Outdoors with Rosen by Design.
Take our leave and go.